We're here to talk about a shooting last night that resulted in the death of a man. We're just beginning the process of trying to determine what led to his death. We don't have all the answers yet, but I'm here to tell you kind of how this came about. Just after 1:30 this morning, officers were called to the 800 block of Maryland Avenue East on a report of a shooting. Those callers, which were multiple, some reported hearing shots fired, some reported hearing shots fired and somebody yelling for help, and then some reported that a man had been shot. When officers arrived, they did find an adult male suffering from multiple gunshot injuries. St. Paul Fire paramedics responded and pronounced him dead on scene. Our officers initially set up a perimeter in this area in an attempt to hopefully capture the person responsible for this crime, but we were not able to locate anybody, so no arrests have been made. They did secure the scene and began canvassing for witnesses and looking for evidence, anything that can tell us what happened here. That process is still going on. Our homicide investigators have been working overnight trying to determine the circumstances and possibly who is responsible for this crime. Currently, behind me at the crime scene, our forensic services unit is processing for evidence, and we will be using every resource we can to try to determine who's responsible for this crime. We'll be working with the Ramsey County Medical Examiner to positively identify the victim and determine his exact cause of death. This is our 11th homicide of the year. These cases are complex, and most of the time we need help. So we would like the public to call us if they know anything about this case. They can contact investigators at 651-266-5650.
Any idea about a motive? Did this happen inside or outside?
I think these are all things that are right in the wheelhouse of what we're trying to determine right now. So we're early on, we're hours in, and I don't know if they have figured out motive or even anything about this case yet, but we're working to do that.
There's been a lot of
body was behind 881.
Correct.
There's been a lot of focus back there. And there's bullet holes in a few cars. Do we know if other vehicles are involved?
I don't know. So we're still processing the scene. So as far as what was impacted by the bullets that were fired by the suspect, how many rounds, things like that, we're still trying to determine that. That's why our forensic services unit is out there. They're trying to do that work right now. So we'll get the answers. It just doesn't happen as quickly as we all would like.
Do you have an age or an approximate age of the man?
I don't. Adult.
Are people still inside today, or are they allowed? Were they evacuated or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Everybody's still in their apartment building as far as my knowledge of the situation. Nobody else was in danger other than obviously when the bullets were flying. We do not know of any other injuries related to this shooting.
Have you guys noticed an uptick in shootings over the last couple of weeks here in St. Paul, fatal and non-fatal?
Well, as far as I do have numbers, we are currently down about 10% in shots fired in the city. There have been some shootings recently that have been concerning in the sense that there's been a large number of actual shots that are being fired at these scenes. We're recovering tens of casings at scenes. Homes, vehicles are being hit, but thankfully, nobody's been injured in these cases. But it's very concerning. It's concerning anytime somebody in our community picks up a gun to settle their differences. Anybody can be impacted by those rounds, and it's very concerning in the sense that, yes, the people being shot at, but also the people that live in these neighborhoods. The ripple effect of gunfire in a neighborhood isn't just contained to that person being shot at. It affects everybody.
So, would you say you found a lot of gun casings at this scene too?
They're still processing the scene, so I don't know what they've found yet, but they will do that work and we'll find that out.
So just to be clear, the number of shots fired, reports of shots fired down 10%, but the number of bullets at each one of those locations is up? You're seeing more?
Well, yes, that is my feeling at this point. Like, we're seeing large number of casings at scenes. I'm talking in the past. The question was about the past, recent past,
okay.
In the past month, say,
Okay.
or even couple weeks. We've been seeing cases where shots are being fired, and and officers are going there, not finding any victims, but we're finding a large number of shell casings. and we're finding damaged cars, and in some cases we're finding damaged homes. That is extremely concerning. As far as people who've been shot in our city this year, last year at this point we were at 53. This year we're down to 43, and we still have work to do.